Hi, my name is Leanne Demouche, and I'm the Water Resource Specialist here at New Mexico State University. I'm also the State Coordinator for the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network, or like we like to call it, CoCoRaHS. This is a series of videos that we're putting on for our training program. This is our third video series, and to this video we're going to be talking about how to collect and measure hailstones. Okay, so what we're going to talk about first is this hail pad replacement. If you have found a really great site or place in your yard for your rain gauge, which we talked about in the first two videos, then you've pretty much found a really great place for your hail pad. Now, in one of the other videos, we sort of showed you briefly what the hail pads look like. This is an unused hail pad. It's a heavy-duty piece of styrofoam. As you can see, we special ordered the styrofoam. It has a certain weight and texture to it. We also cover it with a very heavy-duty restaurant-type aluminum foil. Okay. Now this is what it will look like when you get hail pads from us. Now this is what a hail pad will look like when it comes back to us. Actually, this hail pad looks pretty good. We've seen some that have been pretty well beaten up. Okay. What you'll do is when you get your hail pad is that you'll want to locate it horizontally next on the ground next to your rain gauge. Okay. Now these hail pads, like I said, are just styrofoam covered in aluminum foil, and they're very, very light. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to secure your hail pad down on something. What I've done with my hail pad is I've taken a board underneath it and I've clamped it to that heavy board. And you can put your clamps here at the edges. Okay, it's okay to put something like that on your hail pad because it's going to make an indentation in your hail pad, just like I'm doing here. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a magic marker, just like I've done with this one, and you're going to put a line across. So that way it tells us that this little indentation here is not an actual hailstone hitting the hail pad. Okay? You're also going to label other areas. Like you'll see that this one is circled. This is not where a hailstone hit the hail pad. This is probably either some kind of animal or something else has hit your hail pad. And it lets us know that when we take the analysis on this hail pad, not to use these areas where you have marked on your hail pad. Okay? On your hail pad also, when you put it next to your rain gauge, sometimes the birds are very attracted to the aluminum foil, the reflection from it. If you would like, it doesn't do anything to the analysis for us, but if you would like to keep the birds from pecking at it, because this is probably what this was over here, this also shows you a great idea of how beat up your hail pad can get after a hailstorm. But what you can do is you can spray paint your hail pad. Typically for birds, you might want to try some kind of dull color, like maybe some kind of dull yellow or an orange or something. You also want to mark on the back of your hail pad, you'll want to mark what direction you had your hail pad in. So here we've put a big N for north, and so what you'll want to do is when you lay it down, you want your hail pad to be pointing in that direction, letting them know that this is north right here, okay, where the N is. Okay, so that's very important for us. Also, too, there's 3 ways of actually reporting your hailstone information. The first of these is that as hail is falling, okay, it's in your packet that we talked about earlier on the introduction, you'll receive this training packet. Inside your training packets, okay, will be these CoCoRaHS hail reports. Okay, you'll take one of these out. Okay, and as the hail is falling, you can fill out the information. It's going to have your name, your address. It's going to have your station name and your station number. It's also going to ask you things like the stone size. You know, was it the size of a piece of rice? Was it the size of a pea? Not a basketball, but maybe a quarter, a penny. Okay, it can get as big as a softball. Okay, it's going to ask you if the stone is hard, soft, mushy. It's going to ask you if the stone is maybe white or clear. It's going to ask you questions like, was it raining while the hailstones were falling? All of this information is very important to us, okay? Now, some of you may say, well, what if I wasn't home during the hailstorm? Well, our recommendation is that if you weren't home, maybe you might go over to your neighbor, maybe they were home, and they might be able to help you with some of this information, okay? The third way of collecting data is to actually, instead of doing this by paper, or actually I would prefer that you do both, do it by paper, but also if you feel comfortable with turning on your computer during the hailstorm, then you can actually submit this exact same report online. Now, the reason we stress this is because the CoCoRaHS program, on the hail reports and also on the intense rain reports, we are connected directly to the National Weather Service. So when you do these reports actually go straight to the National Weather Service and helps them with reporting the weather information. Okay. Now, once you've done the written report, okay, the third step in reporting is that you can take your hail report and you can tape it to the back of your used hail pad, okay? And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to get this hail pad to me. Now, there's several ways that you can do that. You can mail it directly to us in a padded envelope or a box. You can take it down to your local extension cooperative station, to the agents there, and you can actually drop it off and they can send these in to us. Many of your extension agents may have hail pad replacements. So at that time, if you're out of hail pads, because we like to give each new coordinator 2 pads, so that way they have one available for the next storm. But if you're out of pads, then hopefully all of the extension, cooperative extension stations will actually have replacement pads, and you'll be able to pick up one there. Okay. So this concludes our video series for our hail. We hope that this is an option, okay? We really like for you to use your rain gauge and collect precipitation and also snow, which is going to be in our next video. But if you do not want to collect hail, you don't have to collect hail and rain to be in the program. You can also just use your rain gauge. But if you would like to collect hail, then let us know and we will send the pads to you when you apply. Okay? We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in video number 4.